Hello and welcome to today's LOL Esports Roundup, where we cover the games from the LPL, LCK, and LEC from today, and then preview the LPL and LEC schedule for tomorrow. Predictions: I'm 115 and 44. I went 5-5 today. It is by far, I think it's my worst day since LCS LEC started, which truly tests the predictions in best of ones. Yeah, I'd been hitting 7 and 3s, 8 and 2s for the majority of this time, if not all of the days, and had a 5 and 5 today. So a rough one. LPL, RNG would beat Ultra Prime, going to 5 and 4. Ultra Prime 4 and 5. Royal Never Give Up, come away 2-0. LP was MVP, 9-1-14, 26% of damage. Tangwan 11-1-16 in mid. Forge 4-12 and 5, 31% of damage. For Ultra Prime in mid lane, he was gapped, he struggled, he got picked off left and right. Forge looked awful. He looked out of place, he was struggling big time. Ning tried to help him because Wei clearly was on a mission to set the tone early in these games. In game 1, Ning was able to keep up and actually match Wei. And then in game 2, he was unable to really. Wei really set a torrid pace. However, it took until the team fights in the mid to late game out of LP to actually bring this series to where it ended up. There were like pickoffs here or there by RNG, but my apologies. I thought Breathe did very well in this one. I thought he was very impactful in team fights, way more than Harry. Frankly, I felt like Harry wasn't even there. Probably the least impactful player on Ultra Prime today. Sword Art for negative reasons, Forge for negative reasons. Doggo is kind of just there, reminiscent of Elk last year on Ultra Prime, just kind of doing his thing and trying to not look too bad. Now Elk, obviously, greener pastures with BLG, and one has to wonder if Doggo will look better with, PSG talent or something next year. I'm pretty sure this Ultra Prime experiment was not worth it for him. Next, we have EDG and Rare Atom. EDG would win, going to 4 and 5. Rare Atom 3 and 6. So Edward Gaming win 2-1. Fofo was my MVP in mid, going 12-6-19, 29% of damage. JJ 10-4-21 in the jungle. So the mid-jungle duo, 22, 10, and 40. Assume 10, 10, 10, 31% of damage for Rare Atom. Anytime something decent was going on for Rare Atom, it was Assume or Strive that was getting it done. That's a lie. That's a lie. I thought Zhaozhu played exceptional in game 1, the game that they won. I thought he played very, very well, and I'm not going to take that away from him. I thought he was much better than Ale. After that, I take into account Strive getting around the rift a few times in the laning phase, making things happen in the other games. And Asum doing well in team fights despite dying 10 times. I felt he was the one with the most impact for Rare Atom, hence the damage share being the highest. As far as EDG are concerned, the winners, they just played better in team fights in the second and third game. Fofo getting his nose in there, making things happen, neutralizing Asum, neutralizing Strive. I think he played Lysandra for a game. And that is kind of what Fofo has to do. He is not a carry mid laner. He should be a facilitator. And on EDG, the thing is, Ale usually ends up being a facilitator, split pushing top laner on tanks, weak side champions. If they played him more on more carry oriented stuff, put Fofo on more facilitator oriented stuff, we could see EDG possibly in a better position. Uzi looking very good on the Xayah in moments in this series. I thought Mako was very good. He was much better than Baolan. And EDG just simply were the better team today, and they should have been. I mean, I thought these two series would end up the way they did. I might have picked RNG 2-1. I don't remember. But regardless, I thought Rare Atom would take a game, and they did. Right? Let me look behind me. Yep, I did. I had RNG 2-0 actually, so nevertheless. EDG, there are rumors. Someone said in the Discord there's a rumor that Leave might return to EDG after this series. I don't know how to feel about that, personally. Afterwards, so the third series of the LPL, IG upset LNG. IG go to 2-7, 2-0 LNG, who are 6-4. On was my MVP, going 17-2-15, 28% of damage in bot lane. Cryan 7-0, 22 in mid. Scout 4-8-1, 28% of damage in the loss. A lot of people in the Discord blaming Tarzan. Personally, I don't think that Tarzan is the only problem with this team in this one. The bot lane of LNG I thought didn't step up in game 1, ended up in a giant hole, getting 2v2 killed early, and then really struggling and getting killed a couple other times in the laning phase into the mid game. Put themselves behind. Sure, Tarzan can go bail them out, but the fact of the matter is they were put behind in the 2v2, which isn't acceptable. Scout got after Cryan at times, but couldn't really do anything with it. I think he did solo kill YSKM at one point. YSKM playing more carry-oriented stuff. He played Camille and, shoot, what did he play in game 2? Jax, maybe? I thought he played well. I thought he really found some moments to have some serious, becoming a difference maker, for a lack of a better term. In terms of the jungle, Tianzhen played Rengar. I like that he had been able to use his pocket pick to success. You know, IG are on struggle street. I think that's pretty clear to see. LNG might have played the day before. I'm trying to remember. And that could have been a problem for them. Regardless, the bot lane of LNG didn't do enough, in my opinion. They lost that game in game 1 themselves. And then in game 2, I thought Tarzan was the only thing that was keeping them close in the early game. IG setting quite a pace. Tarzan trying to keep up on the Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix is not a very good pick, in my opinion. Kind of bait oriented. It's a bait pick, in my opinion. And Cryan got around the rift alongside Tianzhen and made things happen. And, LNG's carries just simply didn't step up. Scout was not as impactful as Cryan. Gala got gapped by An. Top lane, Zika did not have as much impact as YSKM. All the players on LNG are better than their IG counterparts, but could not find any way to win. Not even win one game. So, just a bad series. A lot of people overblowing it. I think you have to look to LNG versus Team We next week. If LNG throw up a dud in that one, then you have to start, worrying about what is going on with LNG. LCK, Nongshim DRX, both are 1-5 now as DRX wins 2-1. Fate in mid lane went 7-3-21, 30% of damage. Beryl was my MVP going 0-3-26. Fiesta 10-8-10, 30% of damage in mid. Fiesta performing well, obviously against DRX, a team that's also towards the bottom of the standings, also against a player that has been benched for the majority of the split in Fate. So both teams are in similar boats here where they're playing musical chairs in mid AD carry. I thought Beryl in Game 3 on the Renata really made some difference, was a big difference maker in team fights. His ulti really turning the tides and allowing DRX to find a way to win. I thought that was really, truly the most impactful part of Game 3. Jiwoo, I thought, played outstanding for Nongshim at times. And I keep saying this because it's DRX, and we got Paddock and Kiahu, who isn't even playing right now because Fade is. But Paddock shows glimpses of being okay. I think Jiwoo's actually shown a lot of good things in his series, despite Nongshim continuing to lose. I think that there is potential there for him to maybe hold on to this spot the rest of the split, give him a longer leash, see what he can do. The team's not going to be, making the playoffs or anything, but I would like to see that player continue to develop. I think there might be something there for him. As far as top lane's concerned, Rascal did get the better of Din Din, solo killing him at one point. Juhan and Sylvie is a wash. Juhan I don't think is very good, but Sylvie is not either. Paddock, I just thought Jiwoo was better today. So really, Beryl just making the difference in team fights and allowing DRX to find a way to win, and Rascal being very, very aggressive and finding ways to get things done. Excuse me. As DRX win 2-1. After that, HLE and Bro. HLE win 2-0. They go to 4-2. OK Bro 1-5. Zeka was MVP in mid on Yone both games. Kingen 2-3-13, 28% of damage in top lane. I was shocked by that when I saw the stats. Viper 13-1-8 at 80 carry. Henna 9-5-5, 29% of damage for Bro. Like I said, I was shocked. Because Kingen, I didn't feel like was the guy dealing a ton of damage. It was Zeka. It was Viper. But it was Kingen. He was the one that was doing it. Didn't get the kill credit for it, which, that's why we look at the stats, right? Otherwise, Kingen probably is forgotten about. I thought Zeka made some really nice plays on the Yone in team fights. I thought in lane he played very aggressive, got after Ivory. I think even solo killing him at one point, gapping him, seriously gapping him. And, that's to be assumed. Ivory, I don't think, is LCK level. I said that when he got called up. He's still playing over Karis. I don't understand what Bro's plan is, but then again, I never have understood what Bro's plan is. Bot lane, Henna effort. Henna went positive. Effort stole a Baron on Leona, so congratulations. In terms of top lane, Morgan definitely struggling into Kingen in lane. Clid better off than Umpty, so Bro just are, I say it all the time, Bro are just, they're a team. LEC, XL, BDS, XL wins, so now both teams are 2-3. Abadage was MVP on Azir. Patrick 527, 31% of damage. Otawamne 503 in top lane. Crowny 234, 39% of damage in the loss. So a very close game, very low kills. That's the story of this meta. But Abadage in the early game did find opportunities to have a couple really good shuffles, in my opinion. I thought in team fights he dealt a lot of damage. Even on the losing side of things, he led both teams in damage. So with that, I felt like he was the difference maker when push came to shove. Patrick did deal a lot of damage in one team fight in particular. I think he had a triple kill. But otherwise, I thought Abadage had more extended impact from early to late game on the Azir. BDS, Adam had a really good outplay on a dive in bot lane, killing both bot laners for XL in the early game, but otherwise was not able to really turn that into something for BDS as Crowny dealt the majority of the damage. So that's unfortunate. Astralis Vitality. Astralis win, they're 2-3, Vitality 1-4. Finn went 0-0-10, 32% of damage on Gragas. 1-1-3 went 408 on Viego, was my MVP. Perks 136, 30% of damage in the loss. So Vitality set the pace. They were ahead, and then they did a soft throw. They inted a bit, Bo getting caught out at bad times, Perks getting caught out, Photon not doing his job. Upset Kaiser. Upset is probably one of the best players that we're not talking about because he's not doing anything. In the late game team fights, 1-1-3 on the Viego, found moments to thrive, taking souls, getting kills, doing what he had to do, and Finn causing some CC on the Gragas, dealing some damage, not dying. Finn's playing exceptional. He's played exceptional for a couple months now. And I picked Vitality to win because Vitality, like FlyQuest, are due for wins. I understand Vitality has a win and FlyQuest doesn't, but I think we can all agree that both teams are being very disappointing right now against expectations. And it's just not good. Not good out of Vitality. Astralis looking good when they had to. After that, we have Heretics and Koi. Heretics 21st in the power rankings, 3-2. Heretics lost to Koi. Koi are now 2-3. Heretics 3-2. Sisgenda 3-1-6, 33% damage on Gwen in top lane. Larson was MVP, 706 on Tristana. Flacked once again leading the way for Heretics, 3-2-2, 42% of damage in the loss. So, close game for a long time. It took to the very late game for there to be a fight around an objective that gave Koi an opportunity to win the game. Larson on the Tristana was able to take turrets, push the envelope, and I thought even in the early to mid game he found opportunities to make some plays. Versus Genda, although he dealt a lot of damage, I thought was kind of on an island in the early game, which happens with top laners, but it is what it is. Both junglers trading a bit of ints, Yanko stealing some objectives, Malrang finding opportunities to be more effective. So as far as I'm concerned in that way, that was what it was. Bot lane, Flacket trying his hardest to do something, Mersa inting, and then Comp doing, Comp's not even being talked about really. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Trimby was more to Comp Trimby than Comp was. We see that with Fnatic, that Trimby's doing well. Sorry for tapping the mic. Where Comp not quite as successful right now with Koi. Obviously, Advian, Noah, that's not an even swap there, but you know what I'm talking about. Heretics, it's okay if they go 3-3 after 2 weeks, in my opinion. I think a lot of people are making it more than it is. I think Vethio is outstanding. A lot of people think that I had somebody in the Discord today say Vethio wasn't an upgrade over Ruby. And I think that is outrageous. I think there's a case to be made. Vethio is the best mid in the LEC. I think you can make a case for that. A lot of people would say they'd prefer Caps, and that's a lot with nameplate. If we remember the last couple months of Caps, he was not much better than Vethio was, really. Win-loss, sure, but in terms of performance, not that much better, right? So the LEC mids this split, and even this year, if you are not a fan of Larson or Humanoid, like if you don't appreciate where their value comes from, honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if you weren't impressed at all with the entire pool. G2 SK, G2 win, they're 4-1, SK 1-4, Hansama 7-1-2, 34% damage on Kog'Maw was MVP. Broken Blade 1-2-4 in top lane, Certus 7-3-2, 33% damage in mid for SK. SK got out to a big lead. A massive lead, and they threw hard. This was a big throw, one of the biggest throws we've seen of summer in all 4 major regions, if not the biggest. It was disgusting. G2 finding ways to drag the game out a bit as they're down a ton. SK have Baron, but G2 are able to get some picks, slow down the SK siege, then win a team fight to be able to trade objectives. They take Baron, SK take Drake, G2 are able to gain some gold, and then they win a team fight in mid and win a team fight on top side and end the game. A game where SK were in the lead for 30 of 35 minutes, something like that. Like it's kind of that lopsided. Because Marcoon set a great pace. Exakick and Doss were doing well into Hansama Mickey. But then there were moments where Kog'Maw was able to go off. They allowed the Kog'Maw to get online. And it didn't. SK didn't have an answer after that. And really, I'm talking about Caps. Caps I felt was nowhere to be found in this one either. In top lane, Irrelevant looked really good into Broken Blade, solo killing him at one point and then almost solo killing him again. But G2 found a way. And sometimes you need wins like this. And I say this, and I'm going to say it again, I don't take away from G2 for what they do, which is get cute and draft, try and find new things, because they're essentially locked into Worlds, locked into MSI a couple months ago. And playing Kog'Maw Braum bot lane is different. We haven't seen that yet, right? So, they're just throwing shit at the wall and see what sticks. Sorry for hitting the mic again. And, they got lucky. It slid down the wall a bit, but it ended up sticking in the end. It didn't hit the floor. Lastly, Mad Lions Fnatic. Fnatic would win. Both teams are 4-1. Oscarinin was MVP on K'Sante in top lane. Noah, 806, 35% of damage. Trimby, 0115. So the bot lane went 8-1 and 21. Karzi, 141, 27% of damage in the loss. Early game, Oscarinin was the star of the show, solo killing Chasey, getting after Chasey again and trading kills as he dove under turret. Getting a little reckless, but obviously a rookie will do that. I am happy to see Oscarinin show some confidence in these games, as Fnatic are starting to do very well. Oscarinin showing what he's capable of. A lot of people, condemning him early on in his career after an extremely small sample size. And now maybe he's, a little more confident in himself and willing to showcase what he has. As far as elsewhere is concerned, Niski found opportunities on the Nico, but otherwise was just not as big of a deal as Noah at AD carry for Fnatic. I mean, Noah just was playing exceptional once again. He continues to do so alongside Trimby. Fnatic continue to impress. They have players capable of going to Worlds for sure. And a Korean AD carry import is definitely something that will help you in the West. So, Mad Lions were due for a loss. They weren't going to go undefeated. I thought Mad Lions were going to win this one. Honestly, I think the only LEC prediction I got right was G2. I went 1-4. It was a very bad day for me in that regard. So, we're going to move on. We're going to move on from that. We all have our bad days, 115 and 44. I just want to be above 70% when it's all said and done. Sneak peek for tomorrow. LPL, OMG, 9th in the power rankings against LGD. Oh my God, are 6-2 coming off of a win against Team Wii. LGD 1-8 coming off of a loss to FPX. Last time they played, OMG won 2-0. Aki PP God and Meteor Jinzhao is the matchup that holds true from the last time they played. OMG PP God went 2-4-38 for only 342 DPM, 19%. We're looking at jungle support, so the two most supportive roles on the team. Meteor Jinzhao went 2-7-21 for 511 DPM, so quite a bit more DPM when you look at it relatively speaking. That's like half. That's like 150% of what, or 50% more than OMG, and 26% though. So 1/4 of the damage share came from the supportive roles. You don't want that, right? You want your carries to be dealing the damage. After that, we have Top Esports Team Wii. Top Esports are 3rd in the power ranking, 7-2, coming off of a loss to JDG. Team World Elite are 12th in the power rankings, 4-2. Coming off of a loss to Thunder Talk. Last time they played was in the spring playoffs. Top Esports 1-3-1. 9 of the 10 players are the same. So we're going to highlight 80 carry. Jackie Love went 38 and 30 for 36% of damage. Hope 21, 17 and 9, 30% of damage. So this is a big deal, right? Team Wii, I keep saying, I'm going to say it again, they look like the team that's going to implode due to their scheduling. And they're going to have to get back. A 2-1 loss would be good in this one. Heck, the way Top Esports lost to JDG, who knows what might happen tomorrow. LEC. We have BDS Team Heretics. Team Heretics 21st in the power rankings, 3-2. BDS 2-3. Last time they played, BDS would win. Adam Sheo Labrav went 4-9-25 for 678 DPM, 35% of BDS's damage. Evie Yankos Mursa went 4-8-15, so similar KDA, 693 DPM, 36% of damage, so a very close game where the top jungle supports had similar impact on damage and DPM. Excuse me, so the carries were the difference in that one. I keep tapping the microphone. I really do apologize. Mad Lions XL. Last time Mad and XL played, XL actually won. They're 2-3. Mad Lions 4-1, 16th in the power rankings. Otawamne Patrick Limit went 12-2-25 for 1,164 DPM, 46% of the damage. So less than half of the team's damage came from top bot lane duo for XL in that win. So it was jungle mid that made the difference, and now those are new players for XL. Chasey Carzy Hilly went 5-11-6 for 1,729 DPM, so 500 DPM more, and 67% of the damage, so 2/3 of the damage, which goes to show you just how big of a difference that jungle mid duo was in the last time they played. That XL's gave them more than half of their damage, where Mad Lions, it was only 1/3. G2 Astralis, the last time these two teams played, Astralis won. They're 2-3, G2 14th at 4-1. Kabe went 9-3-7, 29% of damage in the win. Hansama 8-6-7, 32% in the loss. So you're noticing a lot of upsets here the last time these two teams played. We may see upsets in the results again as well. Koi SK. Last time they played, Koi would win. Right now, Koi are 2-3, SK 1-4. Comp 717, 41% of damage in the win. Exakick 421, 34% of damage in the loss. Lastly, Fnatic Vitality. Fnatic 22nd in the power rankings. Vitality 23rd. Fnatic 4-1. Vitality 1-4. Last time they played, Vitality won. There was a big diffy the last time they played. Vitality smoked them. So Photon Bow Perks went 16-1-24 for 2,149 DPM, 73% of the damage. Oscarinin Razork Humanoid went 2-13-4, 1,023 DPM, so half as much, and 63% of the damage. So 10% less share, but 1,000 less DPM. That's a lot of DPM diffy there. So, you know, Vitality have to find a moment to get back on track. 1-5, 1-5 puts them in a position where they arguably have to sweep the final weekend to get out of, to get into the next round. You know, and nobody can then say, you know, a team like Mad Lions or a team like Koi or whomever don't deserve to go to Worlds more than Vitality, because hell, Vitality have continued to disappoint. That'd be me saying a team like I don't know, 100 Thieves deserves to go to Worlds less than FlyQuest. It's like, you need to put in results to get there. It's not just nameplates that makes you deserve to go to an international event. You actually have to perform and show up. And if you're not showing up, that's on the team. Don't blame other players for finding opportunities to show up and perform while your favorite team or favorite player shits the bed. You know, that's not cool, in my opinion. So, that's it for the roundup. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and I hope to see you again tomorrow.